Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Top 5. This is the show where I randomly throw stuff out to Kaz and I have him pick his top 5. I do my top 5 and we see where we land on this. And we also invite you guys to comment and let us know your top 5. And I
Yep.
recently asked them, Kaz,
Hmm?
what are your top 5 Prince albums? Now, here's the thing. When I approached him about that, the albums were 1999, Sign of the Times, Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day, Parade, Love Sexy, Diamonds and Pearls, and the Batman soundtrack. And yes, that is way more than 5, which means that 3 of those unlucky albums got knocked off the list. Now, I'm not as big a Prince fan as Kaz is up front. He's the second coming of Prince.
Used to
I'm
be.
just I'm just that dude that occasionally listens. So it was a little bit easier for me to come up with my top 5.
You said a
And
little bit easier. There was no easy about this.
well, tell me about your number 5 one. Which one fell in the number 5 spot?
Well, how about we do this? Since you gave us eight and you listed off the eight, how about I tell you the first three in order that I dropped?
Yeah, you can tell me which ones you dropped.
Because you gave me eight, so to pick from. So, and these were still difficult to do.
And
But
before you
from
mention them, let me preface like I do with every show. There's no right or wrong pick. There's no bad choice. It's all personal preference.
okay, so the three that I removed in order from number three to number one. Number three, 1999.
You suck.
Oh man. Now, the sort of the way I went through this is trying to figure this stuff out is I just started going through the albums and actually going through the songs, each individual one, and picking whether or not it was going to be a sizzle or a fizzle.
Yeah, I can
Because
see that.
otherwise, there was not one album that I did not love, kind of love, seriously love, or really truly love. So love was love. So number three, 1999, that had three fizzles on it, which was rough, but even back then, I still fizzled those three songs back then too, so it counts. Number two, Parade. Parade had four fizzles on it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Boy, oh boy. And my number one dropped off the list with six fizzles was Love Sexy.
Mm, mm, mm.
Now, you had to bear in mind that all these albums have songs on them that really push me to the limit of joy and entertainment and excitement. But it was the fizzles that caused me, the quantity of fizzles that caused me to drop these albums.
And I get that. That's a good way to look at it. I didn't look at it that way, so I can tell you right now, our top 5 is going to be drastically different. All right, hit me with number 5.
So, number five, that had nine sizzles, which was the total album actually, uh, Around the World in a Day.
Wow,
Around
really?
the world in a day.
I didn't talk all this shit, and my number 5 is also around the world in a day. Or is
Oh,
it going to be so
geez.
different? No, they're not. No, they're not. Number
Oh,
4.
number four for me with nine sizzles, which again was the total album, Purple Rain.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
My number 4 was Sign of the Times.
Oh yeah.
It had some good songs on there, but it had some songs to me that were like, mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your number three?
Number 3 with 8 sizzles, the Batman soundtrack.
Okay. My number three is Parade.
The one that I dropped. Wow.
I fought back and forth between 3 and 4. Sign of the Times and Parade. Parade won out because I really love the song Mountains. I don't care how many times I've heard it. It has never gotten old. I love that song. It's just, I love that song. So
Yeah.
that pushed it up a notch. So
Mm.
we got 2 left, and I know they're gonna be different. So what's your number 2?
Well, number 2, Diamonds and Pearls with 11 sizzles.
Diamonds and pearls. Would you be a happy boy or girl?
Interesting. My number 2.
We go through that whole album and just like sing one song after the other, the other 11 times.
My number 2 is 1999.
Say 2000 party over, oops, out of time. So
It was just that era. It just those memories. That's what pushed it to number 2 status.
But with Prince, you can't, I guess you can't just really just pick music because his music is actually memories.
Yeah.
So you can call up a band and say, yeah, that guitarist and such and such, or that singer and such and such. With Prince, it was just like, yeah, the album, or yeah, the soundtrack, or yeah, the drum beat, the snare drum that he always makes. Yeah. So
All right. We're down to number 1. Here we go.
with 12 sizzles, my number 1. Sign of the Times, message your mind, hurry before it's too late. Falling in love, get married, have a baby. Call him Nate. It's the boy. Number 1.
Again, I can't fault you for that. I mean, it wasn't number 1 on my list. It was number 4, but the Purple Rain soundtrack was number 1 on my list. Again, I'm a sucker for that nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know as many deep cuts as you do. So, that's where that comes into play.
Yeah.
So I get that. So
Gotta go deep
this is a
cuts.
good example, people, how it can be drastically different. I mean, we started off the same with number 5, but 4 through 1 was a little bit different, but it's cool because all of them are great albums. All of them have great songs on them. So it makes it hard to come up with. And that's one of the purposes of this show, to really not just make Kaz think, I myself have to think, and it gives me an opportunity to make y'all think as well. So once again,
I had to put myself in a position to try not to put emotion in my listening, because you have no idea how much time I spent doing this, because number one reason I hear a song and I'm going, yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, play it over. So just to sit down and actually focus on just whether I liked the song or not, and not put much emotion behind it was difficult to do. So that's why I started sizzling and fizzling each track. So
That's a good way to look at it. I didn't even look at it like that. So that's cool right there.
because Prince, especially back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, man, Prince was seriously emotionally affected. What's the word? Affect. Like really had a grip on my listening. It wasn't just throwing an album in and throwing it in because it sounded good. It was really, I really felt and lived what I listened with him. So it was difficult for me to just sit down and like the one we did last week. That wasn't the difficulty was trying to figure out how to do it, how I was going to do it. Outside of that, there wasn't much emotion behind. Oh yeah, I think we did Van Halen.
Yeah,
I love, especially David. I'm a Lee Roth fan with Van Halen, but the emotion that I have behind Prince versus Van Halen, night and day, night and day. So it was more difficult to do this. Plus, you gave me more to do.
and you answered the bell like a champion.
Ding, 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 ding.
So I want y'all to do the same thing. Give me your top 5 Prince albums. Hook us up. Leave a comment, like, share,
Ding, ding,
subscribe.
ding, ding,
We
ding,
love to
ding,
hear
ding,
from
ding.
you. Always, always, always stay positive, stay blessed,
And always keep it moving, people. Keep it moving.
and we'll catch you later.
Later.